Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Jennifer Ortega. Ortega was shot and killed on Tuesday, August 19, 2008, in the 1800 block of East Villa Street in Pasadena, according to LA County coroner records. Roberto Barajas was subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. In 2007 or early 2008, victim Jennifer Ortega became romantically involved with Jaime Flores, a former member of the Villa Boys gang in Pasadena. Flores left the gang after he was sentenced to prison in 2006. Following his release from prison, he met the victim and they began spending time together, having sex, and using drugs. On April 16, 2008, the victim and Rudy Martinez, a Pacoima gang member who was on parole, were arrested for possessing methamphetamine. The victim initially acknowledged that the drugs she had been seen discarding were hers, but later told police the drugs belonged to Martinez. On August 7, Villa Boys gang member Eddie Solario sent a letter from prison to gang associate Debbie Garcia. The letter stated that a fellow prisoner had paperwork indicating that the victim had blamed him for drugs found in her possession. Solario told Garcia that the victim knows you're not supposed to talk to the cops. Now she has to live with that for the rest of her life. Don't forget to tell all them youngsters that. That way they don't make that mistake. In the letter dated August 17 that was never sent, Garcia told Solario that everyone in Pasadena is looking for the victim because she's fucking up and burning people. Defendant was also a member of the Villa Boys. After Flores left the gang, defendant began leaving him threatening voicemails. In one message, defendant told Flores, "We're gonna get you guys." A few days prior to the victim's murder, she and Flores saw defendant at an apartment building frequented by members of the Villa Boys. Defendant called the victim and Flores snitches and told them, "We're gonna get you." At 2 a.m. on August 19, SK was in a building in Pomona when she saw defendant Barajas holding a silver semi-automatic handgun. SK watched defendant as he removed the magazine from the gun and reloaded it. She subsequently saw defendant leave in a PT Cruiser. At about 9:45 p.m. that night, a witness saw a black PT Cruiser enter the parking lot of a closed store in Pasadena. A short time later, the witness heard 2 or 3 gunshots, then saw the PT Cruiser and a red car drive away. As the PT Cruiser was leaving, the front passenger door was opened. Another witness also heard the gunshots and saw a dark PT Cruiser speed away with its headlights off, followed by a red car. Shortly after both cars left, the witnesses heard a woman screaming and saw the victim crawling out of the parking lot toward the sidewalk. She had been shot 3 times in the back and later died of her injuries. The police recovered 3 expended casings from the scene of the shooting. Testing confirmed that the casings were all fired from the same 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The casings were placed onto a gauze pad in a clean and sterile scent transfer unit, or STU, for possible dog trailing. The pad was subsequently placed in a heat-sealed bag for possible future use. The police also obtained surveillance video from a gas station located at the intersection where the shooting occurred. The video shows the driver of a black PT Cruiser make a U-turn, turn off the car's headlights, and back into the parking lot where the victim was shot less than 2 minutes later. After the shots were fired, the PT Cruiser is seen speeding away with the front passenger door slightly open. Shortly thereafter, another car is seen leaving the parking lot with its headlights off. On August 28, Pasadena Police Detective William Brockhammer saw a black PT Cruiser in the parking lot of a motel in Pasadena. After the detective determined that the PT Cruiser was registered to defendant, he observed defendant, Villa Boys associate Maria Herrera, and 3 other females get into the vehicle. As defendant was about to drive away, Detective Brockhammer stopped the vehicle and detained its occupants. Defendant was arrested and taken to the police station. That same night, the police searched defendant's bedroom and found a computer that had been used to access a news article about the victim's murder. The computer had also recently been used to visit a website for Kelly Blue Book, which provides estimates regarding the resale value of used vehicles. On September 1st, during a dog scent test conducted with the gauze pad in which the shell casings from the crime scene had been placed, the dog alerted to defendant. Villa Boys associate Rashana Whitten told police she had heard prior to the victim's murder that she had been snitching, and identified defendant as the driver of a black PT Cruiser. Whitten initially denied being present when the shooting occurred, but said she had heard that defendant and another Villa Boys member she knew only as Mono had committed the crime. Whitten eventually admitted she was present when the victim was killed. She arrived at the scene in a red car along with Garcia, Herrera, and another female known as Charms. Garcia and Herrera had arranged for the victim to meet them there. Garcia and Herrera walked up to the victim, grabbed her, and accused her of being a snitch. Garcia and Herrera let go of the victim as defendant drove up in his PT Cruiser. Mono exited the front passenger seat and repeatedly shot the victim. Mono then got back into the PT Cruiser and defendant drove away. Detective Andrea Perez testified as the prosecution's gang expert. The VI Boys is a criminal street gang with approximately 100 documented members and 6 subsets, including the Crazy Boys. The gang's primary activities include robberies, shootings, drug sales, and car theft. Detective Perez opined that the defendant was a member of the VI Boys. She reached that opinion based on photographs of defendant's tattoos and her review of departmental resources. When presented with a hypothetical tracking the facts of the case, Detective Perez opined that the victim was killed at the direction of the VI Boys, in association with other members of the gang and for the benefit of the gang. Following the trial, the jury convicted defendant of first-degree murder and found true the gun and gang allegations. The court sentenced him to a prison term of 50 years to life. Jennifer Avina Ortega was 20 years old at the time of death.